I thought it'd be highly instructive if we all got together and sat through some of this rhetorical nonsense as these senators clash in Congress while they're trying to iron out this coronavirus stimulus package. From what I hear, it's $1.6 to $2 trillion to bail out America. Oh, and some of the industries that really need to be bailed out. But there's two things that we need to keep in mind. Number one, what you're going to see play out, what we're going to see together playing out, is the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. Washington's District of Criminals, of whom all these senators and all these congressmen are a part, are the ones who created the problem. They're the ones who are overseeing this economic catastrophe. They're the ones that are forcing businesses to be closed, forcing people to shelter in place and stay in their homes, and shutting down all economic activity. That's the problem. Now the fear-based reaction. Of course people are scared. They're scared of losing their businesses. They're scared of losing their jobs. They're scared of not making their mortgage, scared of not making their car payments or being able to buy food. That's the fear-based reaction, the second plank of the Hegelian dialectic. Third plank, solution. Let's give them stimulus. Well, you can't give them stimulus unless you borrow that money from the Federal Reserve. The borrowers and lenders of last resort, the Federal Reserve International Banking Cartel. So the gangsters in Washington's District of Criminals are going to call up the gangsters at the Federal Reserve and have them release funds, funny money. And they're going to shove a boatload of debt in our faces, and it's all going to explode on us. It's like a drug. It may make us feel good today, but it's going to completely destroy our lives. And the second thing we need to think about is this stimulus package is 1,119 pages long. Ridiculous. How did they even have time to construct that? Oh, maybe because it's a plandemic.
It's affordable, dependable, reliable energy, and use everything you can. Renewables, using your fossil fuels in the cleanest possible way. All these things we've talked about. So who's throwing that stuff in? I have no idea. But I can guarantee you I wouldn't vote for it. But what I will vote for is exactly what we should agree on. I think we do agree on. So let's come together as Americans, forget about the Republicans and Democrats, get this place working again. If we had the amendment process, I was totally opposed when Senator Reid basically kind of shut things down and we weren't able to have amendments. You all were too. And we were promised, no matter who takes over as leadership, by golly, the system's going to open up. And we're going to have amendments and we're going to have debates on the floor. Well, guess what? It got worse. It didn't get better. It got worse. So if you want to know why people basically are throwing everything but the kitchen sink onto a piece of legislation when they get a chance, because we get very little opportunities to do anything here. There's too much power in the two.
Did you hear what he just admitted? When we create a bill, we take every opportunity we can to throw everything in, including the kitchen sink. We all know this. This is the level of corruption. They're brazen about it. They're just yelling it from the rooftops. This is what we do, guys. You corrupt bunch of parasites.
Basically leaderships. This much power should not be in this few of people. All of us should be involved. And I believe that you're going to see, and I've said this, we all have that better angel inside of us. I hope you let her fly. I hope you let her fly today. She needs to get out and go a little bit right now. We need her. We need the better angels in all of us to start looking out and taking care of each other. There's a lot of people hurting, a lot of people uncertainty right now. And I want to make sure that we fix it. And I'll stay here all day, all night, whatever it takes to make sure we get it fixed. So with that, I ask all my good friends, and I really mean that, my good friends, I ask you all, let's please work together for the sake of this great country. Thank you. I yield the floor.
The power of politics attracts corrupt individuals. So let me ask you, are there better angels inside of politicians who all they want, all their lives, is to grab the ring of power, to have control over people, to tell people what they can or can't do, to be that ultimate authoritarian? Come on. We need to wake up.
Senator from Wyoming.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just heard my friend and colleague from West Virginia say there was no reason to vote today. There's a lot of reasons to vote today, Mr. President. It's a country affected by disease, people waking up anxious, scared, afraid.
Yeah, we are affected by disease. You know what the biggest disease we're affected by? Not the COVID-19 virus, but the GOVID-19 virus. The GOVID 2020 virus, the government virus, is killing us. Like I've said before, More than 250 million people in the last century alone have died at the hands of a government that those people trusted. Government is more virulent. It's a more virulent strain. It's a more infectious disease than any natural. It kills more people than any natural disaster or any disease or any plague thought about killing.
Of the disease and the economic consequences that are there. There are a lot of reasons to vote today. And every member of this Senate needs to stand up and be counted. And for the senator from West Virginia to say, I wouldn't be for this, I don't know where that's coming from. Well, just read the papers that are coming out of the Democrat House. Just read the papers of the demands by the Democrats to muck up a bill that is designed as a rescue operation for the American people. That's where the problem is, Mr. President.
This isn't going to rescue anybody, guys. Like I said, when we take that money, and I don't blame people for taking that money. I've made this very, very clear. People are in a desperate situation. The government has forced us at the barrel of a gun to close our businesses, to be laid off from our jobs, to not be able to make our payments. The government has forced us at the barrel of a government gun because if you don't comply, you will be punished. Cuomo made that very clear, and governors are making that very clear all across these United States, that they will punish you if you don't comply. They're forcing us to comply, and now they're forcing socialism on us. That's exactly what this stimulus package is. From the Republicans and the Democrats, they're forcing socialism on us. It's exactly what's going on. And we're not a socialist country. These are corrupt, money-grubbing, parasitic individuals who need to be tried.
We need to vote today, again and again and again, until we provide the relief, the rescue that the American people need. That's why we have a dozen Republicans on this side ready to speak, standing at podiums, ready to speak. And you don't right now have even...
Ready to speak for the Federal Reserve. And the Democrats on their side, they're ready to speak for the Federal Reserve. Why? Because their Title 28, Sections 3002, 15A, that's Title 28. Look it up. Title 28, Section 3002. This is USC, U.S. Code. Title 28, Section 3002, 15A. The United States means federal corporation. These are federal corporate employees. They don't work for you. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for corporate interests. And this is going to make their corporation, the corporation called the United States, a whole lot of money under the auspices of a stimulus package where boatloads of transgenerational debt slavery are going to be released into the market. And for you not to expect prices to go up after this exponentially, you got your head in the sand.
A single Democrat on the floor to defend their position because it is indefensible. That's where we are. We had Nancy Pelosi flying back from California because she sent the House home a week ago. They're not here. To defeat the work that we've done in a bipartisan way and to say, oh, you've done nice work. Now look at our laundry list of things that we are demanding. Tax credits for solar panels, wind turbines, a bailout of the Postal Service. I mean, you can go through this list. Portions of the Green New Deal. Mr. President, I'm a doctor. I've been on the phone with doctors around the country with my colleagues at the Wyoming Medical Center. They are working double time through the weekend, day and night. The nurses,
Could it be that the virus isn't the problem here? We already know the government's the problem, but how about in our own bodies? Could it be that the virus is not the problem that we have to deal with? The problem we have to deal with is the immunity to the virus. And that all rests in our hands. Yes, there are people who are immunocompromised. If you know you're immunocompromised, then you isolate yourself. We don't need big daddy government isolating all of us. Most people who will come in, according to the CDC and the WHO, YouTube, I'm talking to Google right now. Don't take down my video because I made this. This isn't my claim. According to the World Health Organization and the CDC and Fauci and all those people on the coronavirus task force, say that most people will not, even when they come in contact with it, will not contract the coronavirus or will be affected by it in no way. Their immune system will look at the coronavirus and just, who cares? We don't need you. And they're perfectly fine. It's those few people with immunocompromised systems. And by the way, a lot of those people are on big pharma drugs because that's what big pharma drugs do. They compromise your immune system and make you a target and a victim for any run-of-the-mill virus that comes along, and they come along every single year. Does this mean the government's going to shut us down every single year? You know, we always talk about, oh my God, the government shut down, government shut down. It's the government that needs to shut down while we continue to conduct our business. Now the government has successfully shut us down, and we've just complied like good little people, good little Tommy and Susie, America. We're going to comply with you because we don't want you to hurt us, even though we outnumber you and we overpower you. But in our minds, we're slaves, and we just need to obey because this is the way things are, because the 15,000-hour government indoctrination program called public schools has really taken an effect. The public fluoridation, the mass medication project has calcified our pineal glands, and we have no ability to think critically. And we can't question, we'll just comply. Yes, daddy government. You know what the answer to this is? The government needs to go away. People need to go back to work. But the government's not going to let them do that because they don't want that to be the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is they want you to become more and more and more dependent on government. As you lose your houses, as you lose your car, as you lose your businesses, as you lose your jobs. They want you to depend more and more on government in this socialist society. And that's what it is. With the kingpins of the Federal Reserve squarely at the top.
Doctors, the healthcare providers, they need help. They're looking to us for help. They need tests, they need masks, they need respirators.
You know you're in bad shape when you're looking to government for help. I agree with Reagan. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and boy, I'm here to help.
They need hope. Hope that there will be a vaccine. Hope that there will be a treatment. Those things are in this bill that the Democrats voted to block last night.
You know what he just said? He said government, he basically said government is your help. Government is your hope. Government is your savior. Thus solidifying what I've always been telling you. The state government is a religion. Complete with the black robe priests and tyrants of the Supreme Court. And you get your prophets, the politicians, and everybody bows down at the altar of Washington's District of Criminals as they sprinkle the magic pixie dust of the legislative process and magically make commands, laws, edicts from their holy book. It's all messed up, guys. Your hope and your help does not come from government because government cannot be your God.
And the Democrats voted to block again today. And that's only the healthcare component of it. Our economy cannot be unleashed again until after we get the healthcare component behind it.
That's BS.
But our colleagues, our friends, our neighbors, people that we know in our home states woke up today. Not being able to go to work, not being able to know if they're going to have a paycheck.
That's all because of government. It's not because of COVID-19. It's because government. They woke up today not being able to go to work, not being able to get a paycheck because of government. Hey, we're from the government. They break your legs. They get a taxpayer-funded crutch, give it to you, and they say, see, if it wasn't for the government, you wouldn't be able to walk. See? We're your savior. We're your hope. We're your salvation. We're your help. Look how great government is. It's convoluted. It's messed up. It's perverted. It's unjust.
Not being able if they're going to pay their bills, not being able to know if they're going to feed their families, not being able to know if they're going to get food, if it's available, if they can have the money to pay for it. And yet we're ready to provide relief. They need it immediately. They don't need it after the Democrats block again and again and again. So when the senator from West Virginia...
Make no mistake, these psychopaths love the fact that you are waiting on that check. They love the fact that you need them. They love the fact that you are looking to them for the answers. They love the fact that you're getting down on your knees and you're licking their boots so that you can have a better life. They love that. That's why they became politicians. They want to rule over you. Like William Pitt the Younger said, or Daniel Webster said. There are men in all ages who mean to govern well, but they mean to govern. They promise to be good masters, but they mean to be your masters. And what does he say? Good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. We have good intentions. We're just trying to save you from COVID-19. That's all. It's necessary. That's where William Pitt the Younger comes in. Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. It's the argument of tyrants. That's what they're arguing right there here. This is their argument. It's the argument of tyrants. It's the creed of slaves. What are the slaves out there saying? Please help us, government. Please cut us a check, government. Please, we can't go back to work. You need to execute the stimulus package and give us socialism. We need socialism. We can't live without socialism. It's the creed of slaves. The argument of tyrants is we need to do this to keep you safe. The creed of slaves is yes, you need to do that to keep us safe. Guys, we are not learning from history, and here we go. Doomed, sealed in our sarcophagus of ignorance. We are doomed to repeat it.
I don't know why we voted today. That's why we voted today. That's why we need to keep voting. Because the American people need relief and they need it now. This is our duty station and we're prepared to stay here until we get this done. But to go through all of this, I mean, I've talked to a small...
I got a question. Who benefits? You're not going to benefit. Oh, yes, Brian, we will benefit if we get those $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 checks with round 1, round 2, round 3. If the Fed does what they say, they're going to release all this stimulus and just keep on spending. No, you don't benefit. You become a more loyal slave. The middle class gets wiped out. They create poor people through this. Poor people are dependent. Poor people are irrational people. They don't have time to think. They're too busy working night and day. They can't research this stuff. They become more ignorant. Ignorant people are easier to control. Poor people are easier to control. The oligarchs know this. They're going to wipe out the middle class, guys. Everybody who's in the upper echelon gets a bump up. Everybody who's in the middle gets a bump down. All the poor people, they stay the same. No change. That's how it is. That's what socialism does. It wipes out the middle class because everybody has their hand out to the government. They're all sucking on the government teat. That's what they want. That's what this is about. This is not a pandemic. This is a plandemic. This has been planned for decades and decades. This is what they want. But it's hard to free fools from the chains they revere. I didn't mean to have this video go on this long. They just spoke a bunch of nonsense. But the bottom line is they work for the bankers. They work for the Title 28, Section 3002 Federal Corporation. They are corporate employees looking after the corporate interests, not the interests of the American people. When they give you this money, it is just debt. They're burdening us with more and more debt. They're devaluing the currency that we use so that one day we go cashless, and then they really got us by the balls. That is what's going on here. If you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you have any comments at all, leave them in the description below or in the comments section below. If you disagree with anything I said, don't just hightail it and get out of here and unsubscribe. Let us know what your reasoned, logical, truth-based argument is. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.